Grief. In her book on death and dying, Elisabeth Kubler-Ross teaches the 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. People right now are experiencing the loss of loved ones, jobs, and life savings. They are deeply in pain, depressed at how much has been taken away, and many times at no fault of their own. Yet, for all the pain, fear, denial, anger, only by walking through this challenge will we experience some form of acceptance that will allow us to make it through the storms and inhibit the future. One inescapable and humbling challenge of loss is that grief requires us to make new meaning of what we grieve. For when we lose someone dear or something dear, it could be a person or a way of life that we've always known, and things have changed. Our old meanings, no matter how dear, are no longer accurate, no longer of use. We have to make new meaning of how we move forward. Grief forces us back into the world where we must keep learning, growing, and making new changes in our lives. While we yearn to move on after trauma or loss, integrations of what we lived through is necessary. Yet, at the same time, there's no going back to how things were before the trauma or the loss. Let's work this out. Write 25 to 30 words to this direction question. As you identify these 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. In this moment, what are you grieving? In what stage of grief are you at? Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, or acceptance? 25 to 30 words. Begin. Well done. The 5 stages of grief. Denial. I can't believe this is happening to me. Anger. How could this happen to me? Bargaining. Oh, how can I turn this around? Depression. Things always happen to me. Acceptance. This is what life is all about. I've had many losses during my lifetime. I've had 2 brothers that have both passed on, and I notice from time to time that I bounce back and forth between anger and denial, bargaining and depression. It's only when I have that moment of acceptance that life is in divine order do I actually have a sense of peace and serenity. I love the 5 stages. I love moving through them, around them, with them, identifying them, and ending in that moment of acceptance. I'm Joe Stump, your guide by your side, and this is a 1-minute private workout. Have an amazing and fascinating day examining your 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance.